what am I doing? I'm gonna have to like start making an absolute idea of what I'm doing. I will say though, Sapphire, you're doing your fucking thing. Good shit. Good shit, good shit. I didn't see everything, so I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I don't know why I walked away. What's up, King? I'm like a billion years late. Oh, you got a VOD? Say no more. Say no more. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do, because I'm eating, we're gonna take a look at this guy. Oh, it's uploading anyway. Huge. Okay. Saw a guy make a video. There's like so many people who like... Honestly, I want to watch this one instead. Like, I could give a rat's ass about his actual take on the map. I want to see where he smokes.
First smoke guide for Corrode, the newest Valorant map, and the
Yeah,
goal
so
of
I
the
will
smoke
be...
guide is to teach you in few minutes every single smoke
I'll be
that you will
eating,
need at
so
a
don't mind
basic
me.
level to understand this map. I will also teach you a little bit of more creative stuff, and also
To preface this, I suppose, if I had to give like a preliminary idea of where I think smoke should go, because I think it's a good idea to have some sort of opinion going into it and then see if that changes. Is for any sort of B split, it's definitely tower elbow. That checks out for me. That makes sense because this is no longer a threat. But coincidentally, this is kind of why I think it's also a brim map, because if you're going to do a B split and your brim's mid, it's totally like, it's justifiable to smoke window. Like, I would absolutely smoke window here. But yeah, if you're raw hitting B, like, this fight in front of you is honestly not that bad, and I think the B tower fight's pretty annoying. If there's like so many weird angles you can actually approach from, and so it's definitely here into B link. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Yeah, you said it, Haven B link. I've seen this smoke a lot stairs, and I think this is trash. But I see the merit behind it. It's obviously just to get to A link, but there's so many weird things you can do with this smoke that it's kind of... I think it is more dependent. Like, if the enemy has a flash agent, you never want to throw this smoke, because that is a death sentence for sure, 1,000,000,000%. But if there is a flash agent, you flash mid top, or you smoke mid top for sure. Because then you can do all your mid plays from there. I've done this smoke here towards Link, and I honestly don't think it's a good smoke. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that this smoke is like, even if you're attempting to go to like mid top or something like that, I feel like it's just a waste, because the geometry is, it's still favored for the defenders, but it's like, why would you smoke this off? This doesn't do anything, or it doesn't do enough rather. But I kind of see the idea. I think the one-way stairs is an interesting idea. He might say something about that. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think I'm going to see it. It's something that's just like, well, I'll throw it. We'll see what happens. I don't even know if you can throw this, but maybe you can. I think for A splits, you probably smoke park it. One way bottom mid. Oh yeah, right here. When defending, I'm just focused on the attack right now, but we'll get to that. I think if you're splitting, you need like a smoke, like either stairs. I personally think mid top. This is just kind of like, what does the enemy have? And that's kind of your answer. Well, let's say they have a flash agent. You smoke this, and then you honestly save it for like crane, because you're splitting this area anyway. So a lot of these spots are exposed to A link. A lot of these exposed pocket, stuff like that. You have a lot of your fights are ahead of you once you're in A link, so it's like super important to take. I think on a normal A hit, think if you're just 5 men coming out A main, you smoke off link, you smoke off crane late. Think every other smoke is kind of situational. Or you smoke off pocket to force, like, you smoke off pocket A link and you just focus on taking yard. But that seems kind of weird. Just for this information, like, just for this space is kind of L, in my opinion, my personal opinion. But, and so I'm kind of curious how he approaches A, because that's my biggest what if questions, like, what are best? Well, obviously, like, these seem good, but there's probably better, something weird. Moving on to defense, the early contest smokes are honestly probably not that bad. Like, this early A main smoke, seems pretty good. You like fake a TP or something, force them to burn utility, like right here, which is not what they want to do. They want to burn utility out here. What's up, Void? Howdy, howdy. Welcome in. The early B main right here is pretty good. I also fuck with this one. This one less so, but like both are totally justifiable in how you approach. I don't think the deeper one probably just doesn't get value. It's going all right. Made dinner a little late because I've been running late. And so before we start King's VOD, I'm gonna eat, watch some dude talk about smoking on Corrode, and then we'll go from there. What's up, 4K? How's it hanging? I think the one-way mid-bottom is good. You kind of need to know that they like play here, and you kind of have to play here and not get smoked off. Other than that, it's chilling, dude. This one's also fine if you think like there's a realistic like double mid threat. Like if they've shown that they're willing to fight for mid, throwing this one is good too for the early stall. Or early pressure, like to help mitigate some pressure. It seems good. On defense or a retake, you do it A, you just kind of smoke the bomb. There really isn't anything. You need help with what? More you. I mean, this will start another side tangent. But if you ever have an issue, just say like, oh, like just ask like the question or like present the issue. It's a lot faster. I'm gonna try not to ignore it. Life's good. But like the retake on main, you smoke here, and then wherever you don't have control of, you just smoke the bomb again. Life's chilling. I think for here, it's just kind of smoke the bomb. I don't think you should smoke elbow. Unless you're looking to just fight sight. I feel like giving that up is weird. Like I would smoke front sight, fight elbow, and then segment it that way. I would just segment it. Your aim's getting better. I mean, you did start to aim train again, so that sounds about right. My aim's also getting better, but that's because I started aim training too. But I would segment, fight this space first, and they'll come back, fight this space. Maybe even attempt this because post plan on A is super weird, where it's like yard is really important, or even deeper A main is super important because you need to stop this Silva from doing nonsense. But hey, that's just initial thoughts. We'll see what happens.
How the pacing
I'll give him a little bit of a
to put the smokes and when. Let's go. Today's episode is sponsored by Elgato. Go to elgato.com for the newest hardware for streamers. So let's start with the B side first, which is very complicated.
Oh, here we're going in the same order too. Let's go. Attack first and B side. Let's go. I did not know this guy was signed to DRX. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a new. Maybe I should reevaluate my sources, but
because there are so many angles that your opponents can be standing.
I'm done to listen.
It's really hard to prepare for everything, but the most basic smokes that I would recommend are gonna be two. First, you always do this in this order. First, you smoke heaven because that's the angle that sees the main first.
True. I forgot to talk about order. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice of him to do so. Because I sure as shit didn't. Guess it kind of depends on how much space you're taking too. Like I could justifiably see like this smoke here on a mini map, as well as this smoke, just so you can take like this front space, like you're not looking to contest back. But that feels kind of bad because you should take this back space anyway. So I think it's bad, but it's justifiable.
First, and then you smoke link, because that's the location where typically the player from mid-top can help the B player. Those are the two most basic smokes that you can use on this side, and I will recommend starting with those. Unfortunately, this side is very complicated because your opponents can be holding you from so many different angles at the same time.
Hey man, that's not your fault though. Like, that's every site though. To be fair, in that statement though, comparatively to every other map, like actually taking a site feels so daunting. Because there is like a billion spots. Like it's true for all maps, but this map specifically, there's a billion strong positions that you have to account for. Like there's so many. It's actually ridiculous.
So without flashes or coordinated recon abilities, it's hard to check every single angle. But what you can do with one smoke is create pressure on the defenders, which will make them anxious about...
Hey, lurk smoke. Hey. I figured he was going to start talking about lurk smokes. Or let me not lie to myself. I didn't think he was going to talk about lurk smokes, especially for attack. Like B-side attack. But it does make sense because contesting, like, I think like a lurk smoke A main and B main might actually be really strong. It'll just keep these players anchored, like more anchored than they should be. You can actually even be behind it, but I wouldn't scale past it. You're either here or you're like, you fucked off and you went somewhere else. And like for B main, you can actually be in it. So I think like A main, you either aren't there or you're like behind the smoke. Like you're not scaling through. But B main, you can be here. You could have fucked off or you could like be in the smoke trying to take a fight. I think all are super good. But this is specifically for the lurker. No other play. Like if you do this on your rush, you deserve to lose.
Smoke will help you create pressure on those players. Look, the player from heaven now doesn't know where to hold the smoke. The player from here doesn't know if someone crossed the site. Player on Kabi doesn't know if someone crossed the site. The same from the other side. And now also when you do the smoke over here and you create the pressure on site, the player from B-Link doesn't know if someone crossed to Kabi. Just a singular smoke in the entrance like this allows you to build anxiety.
You do have to be wary though. Depends on the sentinel. If it's a cipher, this won't work. Like you actually have to break the trip. I think any other sentinel bar like a chamber who is foolishly putting his like TP like right here or his own trip like right out in the open, just asking to just get broke for free. We'll have counterplay to this. Because most sentinels play towards B. So far, what I've seen. Oh, yeah?
On the player's whole...
Oh, that is a very specific situation you just threw my way. Okay. Alright. Alright, well, let me... Sorry, Lothar. You're getting sidelined. Let's see. You think I'm gonna ignore the paragraph? Fuck no. Who do you think I am? You don't think strategy is your problem? Well, you just diagnosed yourself. What? I mean, I respect the hustle, but you didn't. You built a situation. So let's go to Icebox. And this is how you know you're learning. When you build a situation, life is chilling. So let's say you're KJ on this map and you're attacking, you're lurking. It's 2v5. So we built this scenario. So in this scenario, here's a couple of things that lead to you whiffing shots. So whiffing occurs in a lot of different forms. Most often it's pressure. And if you don't have it's pressure, it's like you have bad systems. There's also lack of good technique, of course, which is exacerbated in pressure and in bad systems. We'll just say lack of aim. And these are like a lot of problematic causes for whiffing. Like these are really bad things that you determine. So actually, if you watch me play, I actually have really bad pressure management and really bad systems, like both of them, which is a downright diabolical thing to have. But I actually have good aiming technique. Anyone who has watched me do any sort of training, they know that like my technique is not bad. It's not like the best in the world, but it's not trash. But I have really bad pressure management and I have really bad systems in place. So like the system ideology about it is like, what happens if I like peek this guy? How do I take this fight? How do I want to take this fight? And what's the answer to that every single time? Yeah, you whiff. I mean, the other idea you go for, because this is like the IGL curse, is, or actually I'll do the kanji for curse because I learned it. So like the IGL curse is like your brain is currently like, there are two sides of you, right? There is the conscious mind and then the unconscious mind. And when you IGL and you like hardcore IGL, like stupid hardcore IGL, this is in full fire. Like you couldn't build a stronger thing. That just looks like poop. Wow. Holy. Okay. We'll just use arrows to show this. You're big firing. Like your brain is firing on all cylinders. And because that's true, you become conscious of a lot of the things you shouldn't be conscious of. In the round, so it's kind of hard to split between this. This is just kind of like if you're hardcore IGLing. I don't actually exactly remember where you sit when I watched you. It has been a bit. I don't remember. If you're like very micromanagey, you'll find yourself very conscious of everything you do. You do not IGL. Okay, cool. All right, so cool. All good. All right, let me try to understand you real quick. All right, it's mostly lack of aim. All right, one round. Okay, so you aren't like hardcore talking. All good. So okay, you think you're just having a lack of aim, and is that like? Okay, so let me break down the, not your last statement, but one of the statements that kind of matter. So we have a lack of aim during the mid round. We'll call it the mid round. No. Let me watch it. No, okay. So it's actually different. All right. So let me see if I understand. So we struggle in clutch and start of round, but we're fine in the mid round. What? Come on, please. It does sound like a show name. What does that mean? I'm just trying to understand where you sit. Like, before I start, like, prescribing fixes, I need to diagnose the problem. And so, if we struggle with the start, and we struggle with clutch, but we're okay in the mid round, there's so many like factors that go into this that I couldn't prescribe you, or yeah, I couldn't like prescribe you anything like useful. Because in the context of what you said, and your like lurk kills are really good, you're like really strong at killing unaware enemies. Which is fine, because I'm good at killing unaware enemies too. I lurk too. I'm a controller that does lurking sometimes. That's very true. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So like you're good at lurking. And so when you're good at lurking and you take unaware fights, you'll win those because you have an inherent advantage more often than not. And when that's true, two opposites aren't. Yeah. That's what I was about to say. So when enemies are aware, you struggle. And so the fix, like the fix to this, if this is the problem, the fix to this is annoyingly practicing those fights and taking more, giving yourself more opportunities to learn from those fights. which of course will sound counterproductive in the way that I present it, which is like, I need you to start just taking raw 50s. And that sounds really daunting because that is almost quite literally the opposite of winning. You won't win. I promise you, you won't win those fights if you just start taking them. And it'll feel really demoralizing. Yeah, this is what it means. I always tell people like how to play to improve. This is the coil. I mean, the coil just improves kind of. Like if you use the coil analogy that I gave you, it's when you're learning a skill, it's actually better advised in the graph. And a lot of people do this. Yeah, the coil is really good. I do like it. It's like the graph kind of looks something akin to this. Like not quite, but you kind of get the gist. Where it's like, this is you learning a skill. This is you mastering a skill. This is you learning a new skill. This is you've learned the skill. Oh, I'm sorry. I about messed up my own analogy. Hold on. Forgive me for my ineptitude. This is you learning a skill. The bottom piece is you learning the skill. This is you plateauing. And then this is you like learning a new skill. This is you mastering the skill. This is the growth product that happens after you do it. This is your next plateau. This is the next skill. Rinse and repeat until you become a really good player. Yeah, it is very demoralizing. I'm not going to lie. Like when you look at results-based thinking, it's so easy to find yourself just not wanting to play because you're like, I'm not winning my fights. I'm not doing anything. I'm just losing all the time. And then you go like, I'm not built for this. Like I know that line of thinking. I understand it. And it's hard to rewrite that paradigm because it's really ingrained. It is. Think back to when you're like a small... I'm not going to give that example. That example sounds stupid. Yeah, and fixing mentality is more difficult. Like anyone can fix mechanics, anyone can fix ability usage, but once you get to mental, it's like really hard. Because your brain has to do a lot of work to get from one like point A to point B. It also kind of depends on what your goal is. Like you want to begin with the end in mind. Like if your end goal is to play like a professional player, then you have to do all the things that make them professional. Like you have to follow the same trajectory line. Or not exactly the same, but like something similar. And so if you play games and you're just like, the results are the only thing that matter, you'll find yourself getting stuck. Okay, so let's break down your end goal then. So what you're saying is, I just want to be good. Define good. Because that's really ambiguous. Because better is just like, okay, you want to be better, then you should adopt very much like a not yet mindset. So when you watch yourself play and you look at your gameplay and you go, oh, I don't know how to do X skill. And somebody with a fixed mindset would go, okay, I don't know how to do X skill, and so I will never be able to do X skill. And if you have a growth mindset, you add the words not yet. I do not know how to do X skill yet. And then that turns into you like looking into what makes X skill, and you try to practice. You're a bit of both. Yeah, Void. Just above average in every skill and outplay all my opponents. But really think about that. Because from my perspective, think of my paradigm. Because I'm trying to understand from yours. If you allow me, I'm going to share my paradigm. My idea of a really good player is Immortal 3 Radiant. Like, that's a really good player in my mind. And this is coming from somebody who plays controller. A unanimous support role. You say Immortal 1. Okay. So now we have an end goal in mind, because I know what an Immortal 1 player looks like. Now that we have something a little bit more concrete to go about, notice how it, like, the conversation will change. Because if you're like, I wanted to go pro, the end goal in mind changes drastically to, like, I just want to hit Immortal. Because that is way more doable. Yeah, Immortal Plus, I mean, that's a fair goal. I think anyone's it. There you go. So that's our, so be good just translated to Immortal 1 or Immortal Plus. Like, whatever I end up here happens, right? That's it. Straight away, that's it. Easy. Right? So now that we've made a concrete goal, let's look at something. Here, hold on. I'm going to take a bite. No, hold on a minute. You hit, but the wait, there's more. This is why. This is why I wait. So think about what you just said. Or it's like, I want to play in esports. What's the prerequisite for this? Now, this take could be very dynamic depending on the person you ask. Or you'll get different answers depending on who asked the question. But to me, Radiant is the bare minimum. And so that's our new goal if we want to go esports. But I'm down for you to also have like a level head and say like, well, I can't just jump from wherever the piss I'm at. So let's say I'm Ascendant 2. I'm not going to magically rank up from Ascendant 2 to Immortal or like to Radiant. There's like this like Immortal step in between. Which is a lot of hours in the gym. Once you get to Immortal, that's pretty much, you have to, it's a grind fest. It is a very annoying grind fest. No lie. Because you also want to win. Okay, good lord. I totally should have re-listened that. You're in high school esports. Okay. But now we're redefining things again, right? Because when you say esports, I'm thinking VCT. But if you're saying like high school esports, yeah, the goal is significantly lower. But notice how talking with you but notice how talking with you, this post has changed a lot of times, right? Because I'm trying to understand where your mind's at. It's like, okay, what's our end goal? Our end goal is like, okay, esports or like college or high school esports, one of the two. It's not necessarily VCT, which is a completely different beast in and of itself. And so our goal is also to dominate, but just to frag, right? Because so there's this sentence that you sent where it's like, I just want to be above average in every skill and outplay my opponents, all right? And because that's true, we actually probably need to be above Immortal 1. So let's say MO2. Yeah. So this is a new goal that we have to hit. And we're Ascendant 2 right now. So we have to effectively teach you how to hit 300 RR. Which is quantifiable now. It's super quantifiable. You're Plat 1 now? Oh, okay. No worries. That's a lot more RR to get back. But if you got to Ascendant, you'll be able to hit it a lot easier. So that's fine. I'm not worried about that climb at all. You quit. Ooh. That's another question. How long? How long has it been since you've been this rank? I need a timetable here. Let me grab a bite of food. Since Waylay. Dang. That was March 5th. You took a 3-month break? This is why we do conversations like this. Because you took a 3-month break. Get back in the swing of things. You're rusty. It's going to take time for you to be at peak performance. Like, in the meanwhile, like, do your aim training. Wow, holy moly, you're in my way. Like, in the process, like, yeah, keep doing your aim training. Get back to playing your, like, set amount of games a day. Do your death matches, you know, get your mechanics back up and running. Because your assessment here is almost not null and void per se, but your assessment is based off of like a long time ago. Like 3 months is a decent chunk. Like I took a big break. Let me find my page real quick because I took a break and I'm actually trash now. It's been a hot minute. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Let me show you my current stats. I haven't played a lot yet, but I'm working on it. There is a big chunk of time where I just wasn't playing. Let's see. Please load for me. Yeah. So I like soft quit after like episode 8. Like I honestly probably soft quit like right here. And so think of it like my skills haven't improved. I haven't done anything in a full like episode, like a full 2 episodes, which every episode is like 2 months relatively. So I essentially haven't played for real for about like a year. Like I essentially took a year-long break to focus on coaching. But you need time. Like, the second I get ranked, I'll be ranked diamond. I'll need time to redevelop those skills. I mean, it'll come back faster, but just give yourself, like, a bit of time to practice. Like, do your aim training. Like, if you need people to go through, here's a couple. Like, Gravity 56. He has playlist. This mini god. Whoops. Like, you pick like one of these 2 channels and you're just like, welcome back, King. Yeah, but like you go to mini god and just like look at his aiming techniques. You go to low gravity 56. Start here if you don't know anything. If you do know something and you have been doing aim training, do it. But that's pretty much it. You just need practice. Because if you're coming back into the swing of things and you want to hit Immortal, like, and you were ascended at some point, practice, re-swing, and then come back. Oh, you're still probably watching an ad. Hold on. Whoop. If you are a complete beginner, watch this video from Low Gravity 56. It's very clickbaity. He says use this to take your aim to the next level. Watch this because it's really good. He'll like give you a little bit of the.
So as I was saying,
like he goes through, shows the scenarios, and then I think he gives like a detailed playlist that allows you to practice it. Let me see. Surely he does. Yeah, he does. Okay. But essentially what you do is you benchmark your skills and then you'll practice like Like what it'll show you what skills you're weak at, what skills you're strong at, what needs improvement, what needs just kind of like a touch up, that sort of thing. Like benchmarking is the clearest way.
So yeah, so this is strafe shit.
And you just like perform these like drills and then you go crazy. Or to give a more succinct description, you'll perform these drills. It'll measure out your skill. Do that aim labs routine. It's kind of not an aim labs routine. I mean, it is technically a routine, but like you essentially do this entire set. It tells you what you need to work on, and then you build your practice around that. If you need playlist, I'm sure this guy has them too on his YouTube. Let me see. Just call me a scam. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. So there's like the daily improvement method. I know that there's definitely. Yeah, he has like 2 of them. These are like full playlists that you can like. They have full aim documents because this guy's a genius and I'm not. So like. Yeah, here's like the doc. I'll link it because it's free. But he essentially goes throughout everything. It has like a built-in where are you at and specific playlist for where you're at. That practice the skills and the actual benchmark. But yeah, that's like where you get started. Every time somebody asks me about aim, I always refer to these guys because these guys have been doing it for 5+ years, like aiming specifically. I'm like Valorant specific knowledge. But always go check them out. Like that dude, that playlist is good. And then once you start to understand like what makes aim training, you can incorporate your own style. We'll watch this guy later. We had a VOD submission from our boy King. Down to plat 2, but that's just the reset. You play enough? Boy, are you trolling or like did your agents get pre-locked? Well, kinda. This one's on your pool though. I'm surprised he played Fade. I mean, this all checks out. Sure. You back from your break? Or excuse me. Sort of. I mean, not really. It's a couple days. How do you frag as sentinels? That's it. So here, I want you to reframe that question. Just to how frag. My thing about like fragging out is you need to have solid gunplay mechanics. Because no matter what agent you are or who you are, like what role you're playing, all of you have the same access to all the weapons. All of you have the same access. Like that's it. Like that's a guarantee, like universal truth. Like you have access to the same weapons as everyone else. And so getting better with those weapons help you frag. But that's like a very daunting question to like answer. Because there's so much that goes into gunfighting. All right, I'm going to finish this. Wash my bowl. I will be right back. I'm so sorry for the delay, King. 1 moment. All good. Thank you kindly for your support. I think that Discord link still works. I make sure to set them all to like permanent. There's only some that are like limited time. Oh yeah, that was that friend. Hey, Sapphire putting in work. All right, okay. Let's see, Jet. When can you record? All right, here's the thing, and I thank you all for like. There's a lot of people watching. If you ever like, you can record and send it in whenever. That's what I'm saying. As long as it's before 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is when I start stream. As long as it's recorded and submitted before then, you will have the time to like. You will get a review. 100%. You don't have to wait to the last minute to submit it. You can record and submit it whenever. It's just if it's after this time, it'll be put on the back burner for other stuff. I work on first in, first out. So it'll always be the first non-watched VOD, then it'll go in that sequential order. But yeah. And in many cases, bring me a close game where you can see both sides. If you bring me a stomp, I'm just gonna send you on your way. Be like, those guys were baby mode too easy. And if you get stomped, no, those guys were too hard. That was like the broken clam type nonsense. Give me like a 13-8 or higher. And life's chilling.
There's no retreat.
Yeah. 7 is debatable. 8 is like fine. Yeah. I might put it in the...
Not when annihilation.
I haven't put it in the rules yet because my rules have been really lax lately.
This is our game.
Alright, King. Hopefully I can understand your playstyle. If I recall correctly, you are a rotator. And so like you'll fight like a mid or something, or like one of the mains and just immediately leave. Let me find your notes. Because your notes are also tough. I gave you really hard notes for no reason. Or I did. There is a reason, but like. Okay. Your status, please cloudburst yourself. We saw that still. No, I categorize you as a space contester. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna call... I'm gonna call how you contest space. Yeah, master it. If they counter it, switch it up, of course. Yeah, but I wanted to make it look really good. Or uniform. You don't respect enemies' intentions enough. Gotcha. Yeah, don't respect... You have, like, no respect to the setups. Okay. Did I review your tracker? Yeah, I reviewed your tracker. You had this, like, weird 2-day break nonsense, but, like... And also, you were playing Fade for some reason on Bind. That was a bizarre take. I wasn't expecting that. Not that I'm like mad at you or anything. I was like, oh, I assume his jet got taken. It, lo and behold, it was just insta-locked. The double duelist, and you were being considerate. Aren't you nice individual?
Alarm bot out.
And we have
Oh, and you're tripled.
And they have a large year 7 on 9 ping, by the way.
Okay.
7.
How are you contesting? Like, oh, you're contesting mid. Okay. All right. So I guess our philosophy. So like, if we're talking defense, right? Because my job was to tell you like, hey, take space on defense, and I want it to look really uniform and connected. Like you're gonna do almost the exact same thing every time. But it's kind of hard to do it from mid on this map. I was anticipating, so what I anticipated is that you would either contest B main or you contest A main. I'm down for either, but it is interesting to see like, okay, you're contesting mid. Curious to see how you do it. I mean, you have a sheriff. It's likely you're going to look for this fight.
I don't live close to servers at all.
Ah, never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Got him. What? What?
Mid.
Kill this guy and tuck. Yeah, don't ever reswing this. Your position's known, you're tagged. This is just the easiest fight of their life. Like, I don't even care if you're him. If you're him, I don't care. It's a bad fight. Although on a gun round, I might consider it. Like on a round like this where they have low utility, I definitely would not swing. But if like this Sova was good and was using shock darts, I would swing. I mean, my swing could get forced, but like that's just not. You'd also have calibers. It's a different situation. Do you not dashing? Like to go to market is criminal. I'm down for you not to have expected it to just be one, and like you should expect the trade for sure. They're actually really slow. You could have gotten away with it. I totally understand you not just insta dashing this way because it's like, oh, like there's no way I get out of this for free, right? And turns out you would have, but like I'm not gonna be mad at you for not seeing that. Never punish though. Okay, we can test the main. Your arena's off the left, so that's chilling. You could just hold this line. I'm down. I mean, I'm definitely not. You're backing up the site.
Cat.
Oh, you called cat? Say no more.
He's going back.
Enemy kill.
I mean, okay.
Reloading.
I'm down for you to cross all the way left. Like, ignore this and just like hold this as you're crossing left. Just puts a lot less pressure on yourself. Because you have two angles to cover, which feels awkward. Or you like angle this wall in a way to where you can see this and not be exposed. Just a slight little improvement.
Oh, amen.
What in Sam? Hello? Yeah, well now you do it. Now you're just chilling. I mean, and they wasted a smoke. They're gonna have to look for a fight. You're chilling. I mean, this is winning for you. Whoever your Clovis should not be smoking this. Oh, Void. Well, don't smoke that.
Remaining. 30 seconds left.
If you have any sort of like sniper online, or on the line, don't smoke it. And you have a guardian to trade out. Like you're chilling. Woo! Okay, it was. Yeah, but okay, that swing is a little late. Okay, you're not doing anything. Hey. That's that 9 ping difference.
Placing swarm grenade.
You swing. Alright, cross.
Is that flow that's on the KJ? Because if it's your like third duo, tell him to leave. Like send that guy away. Because he's not useful. Like send him mid or something. Like you don't need him. You're outlawed right here.
I'm leaving.
Man, why do you get posted? You're the space taker. You took this space. Why are you the one to leave? That doesn't make a lick dick splick of sense. You don't even have a gun for it. Like this guy, I think this guy's a Spectre. Like let this guy run. Not you. You're like posted in good spot. This is like winning. They have like no flashes, man. They have 0 flashes. Please. He hasn't. Oh my, wait. Does he also have a? Man, if you both have outlaws, well, he's being a little bit more pansy than you, so he should run. Oh my lord. Autocorrect. But yeah, if you're the one furthest out, you don't need to run unless you're baiting. Like, you could justify this call by saying like, oh, I think I heard a noise here. I'm going to run away from B main. But like, or if you're cool, you shift and you tell Sasuke to leave. Like, get posted somewhere. Like, you have a sniper, man. Oh my god, he does have an op. Wait, what? How? Why did... Okay, so they didn't... Okay, he bought utility first round. He didn't buy a gun second round. Bought an op. Okay, but now the context is really terrible because you're like, okay, we have op, we have outlaw. Let's put them both B main. What? Why? Hello? Like, you can't justify that to me. Like, I mean, you can present an argument, like, for sure, but like, the strength of this is you're gambling hardcore that they're coming B. Like a hardcore gamble. And if they go A, you're kind of in trouble. Like, you want to split. If you have like two snipers, you'll see teams do this a lot where they'll split the site they go. You'll either contest or like not contest. Like if there's a contest here, you can play back A and that's totally fine. But the fact that you were both are there and you were the one getting mega aggressive, which again makes sense because you're Jet with a sniper.
Spike planted.
But look how impossible this is going to feel. Well, Sova has it like that.
Last player standing.
You're gonna lose the op? No, you're not. Why do you buy an op round 3? That's the worst gamble you can take. What? I mean, say no more. You have an op now. Cool. I'm in. Okay, are you the crosser this turn? Yeah, you're the crosser.
Revealing area.
You don't cross there? I mean, given now the context, they haven't shown that they're willing to suppress this yet. I'm surprised you didn't cross. You're playing a little safe there. You have 3 people on there. Oh, you should come out like in 3, 2, 1. Well, ain't a whole lot you can do now, huh? Let me show you where you actually made the mistake. Because here's how you kind of fix this. So you have 2 options. You honestly can just throw a cloud burst at this. And then pull out your gun, kill this guy. Or you can ignore this, just pull out the gun, kill this guy, and life's chilling. Like, because you have 3 people on site. You guys are planning to hold this down. Like, you kind of contested A main. But now, like, there's 3 people here. They're hitting the wrong site. Like, if they wanted to win, they should have hit B. But now, like, they're hitting, you need to stay on. Because you're forfeiting this guy and you're forfeiting this guy if you leave. Which, of course, is what happened, but I wanted to come back and show, like, this is where, like, you either cloudburst this and, like, just help fight this guy, or you just fight this guy, get tagged by this, and, like, you're traded out by Void. Both of which you're winning. Yeah, but then Sova gets traded out. That's like a 3v5, and now you're Silver. And now you have to play this, like, impossible retake, because you're retaking against, like, a deadlock ISO Sova. It's just not going to work. Like, this retake is impossible. Yeah, you know exactly where that's at. And the Sova's like that.
Last player standing.
The Sova's like that. Come on.
This guy just walks up on me?
What do you mean he walks up on YOLO? He got timing like everyone else. The Reyna didn't see him. Look at the minimap. I mean, this is how you, like, tell and review. Because, like, in the moment, you just kind of observe, like, oh, wait, the Sova's there. So, like, Reyna's here, Reyna's here, Reyna's here. Reyna doesn't see him. And then, now he's there.
Yo, Reyna?
I just got like timing and then lost. Oh, and you lost your op. They remembered. They know. They remembered their login and found you. Okay, with this spot we're contesting mid. Well, but they're just coming, eh? At this time you can actually play retake because like it's just Sova on site. Like Sova's trying to like fight and that's a mistake. But it is what it is. You can try to come out of this. I wouldn't.
Spike planted.
Oh, holy moly.
Last player standing. Flawless.
Oh, good. I'd probably like in the context of this round, you should probably relink with your teams because you're just not breaking door like this. Or you can play to spam like planter with your sheriff. But those are like your only two plays. Coming out of this is like zero odds. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like no one else is on site. You're alone. They're going to expect it because it's a really common play. It's just not gonna work. Then if you relink with your squad, you get like a decent fight shot. But I'm not going to lie to you. Well, okay. Well, your team kind of made the adjustment that I was gonna allude to. Is like just play a lot on A. Either play retake or just play a lot of them on A, and you're opting for the second.
They're walking your cat, care. Yeah, walking your cat.
Don't peek out of this. This peek is actually trash. Oh, never mind. It should be trash. Being the brim just wasn't ready for you. For some godforsaken reason, that brim should have just sat you down one. But hey, you kill one, you kill two. Now you just fall. Then you win. 4v2.
One enemy remaining.
You just fight with your squad.
We can't lose this.
Okay, whoa, we can't lose this. You could. That's the thing about results, baby. Anything could happen. That's the cool thing. Is like, oh wait, we could lose this theoretically. You know. I would never go in with that mentality. My mentality is like, let me just join up with my squad real quick and fight this guy. I'm not trying to like link up with you in the afterlife, bro. I'm trying to win.
Blocking
I
sight.
hit 40. Already up cat. Already up tree care. Or cat.
Come on. No, run to tree. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Come on. This is fake. Wow, holy moly. Oh, your boy just pushed up B.
God, what the... Why are you pushing out B, man?
What are you gonna do about it? No, go B main. Go B main. That'd be so cool. That's such a good idea if you just push up with the Sova. Like, they're not gonna expect it. They just killed, like, their flanker out here, and they're coming back to B. Like, surely you just push up with this guy, yeah? Like, what do you... Okay, at least you're gonna come this way, because I'm gonna say, like, that you're doing nothing if you just sit here and hold this. But the reason why I would come this way is you saw that this dart, the Sova, was coming this way, and unless this guy's, like, a galaxy brain, like, sociopath, and they're, like, faking to go A anyway, is, like, why not just gamble that this guy looks like he's posturing to rotate this way? We come this way, and, like, we either help the Sova fight, or we just bait this guy. Because we weren't ready for the play, he's, like, a little too aggressive.
Going up mid.
Spike down B.
Like, because if there wasn't an alarm bot, you have a case. Like, if this wasn't here, you had a case like, okay, mid is, like, weirdly open. They took this space early. They took this space early. It's like, okay, I'm prepped. But because there's an alarm bot here and they're not here past this line, if you get here, like, yeah, there's a pinch maneuver, like, ready to happen. But, like, realistically, which one's going to get you? Like, you cloudburst this, you run out B main, you just look towards mid, and now you're golden. You get, like, a fight in front of you, and life's chilling.
Market. Could be in the
Here.
pizza area.
1 by 1. Nailed it.
Oh, yeah, mega dead.
Close, close, close. What the hell?
You lose the round. Just tough. I mean, you caught the brim who wasn't super aware of threats, which is great.
It's
Bit
you
bad.
and me.
Win this.
All right, Void. I see you. Well, I mean, you're just kind of playing Overwatch right now.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Stay down.
I mean, you played Overwatch, yeah.
Where?
You just gotta leave. Yeah, this is not winnable. Unironically, this is not winnable. All right. See you later. 4,700 credits.
What? He has a trip there?
Okay. Here's the thing. Don't. I'm not gonna tell you like don't respond to it in a certain way, but this will help reframe things. Like just observe. Like if you allow yourself to just observe and like internalize the information like calmly, life is chilling. But you also have to understand that that was a terrible play. And you also didn't smoke yourself. Come on. Like if you're gonna do it, smoke yourself. You're concussed, you're stunned. They see you. I know it's awkward because you have an op. You're just like, well, I need line of sight, but you're stunned. You're stunned. Please. Like, look how much time you had.
What?
You fired a shot. Like you actually shot an operator, hip fire, full stun. You shot a bullet hoping you would kill this guy. We're not playing Hope Valorant. Smoke yourself. You have 2 of these, dude. Or if you're gonna do, God forbid you actually go for this play, which I kind of see you have jet knives. You have jet knives. Pop these knives. You had updraft, you had dash, updraft, dash. Go aerial, like right here in the open. Look for something or like isolate a fight. You know where the brim is because he just gave away his position by mauling you for no fucking reason whatsoever. Like if we're gonna play like the jet here, which is a good pick, please, and you have the tools to win this and the information, all you have to do is find this guy, which you're like helicopter, you sit in the middle of everything, you hover, you find this guy, you kill this guy, and now the brim's in a 1v1 that dude is not winning. Like he has ult, you just bait out the ult, you get off, you push up, and life's chilling. Instead, you fire, you switch your sidearm, you die for free.
He has a trip there?
And you're like, he has a trip there. Like, we have options that were just... At least I'm cool with you fighting mid, though. Like, you fought this the same way every time, which I'm down for. This fight's, like, okay. But if I allow myself to cool down.
Hey, play.
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to get away with a flank here. Yeah. I'm down. Now, because of the deadlock, you have to watch behind you. Wow! Up drop, yeah, up drop to kill this guy. Bang. Okay, you don't have to walk. You just killed somebody. Like, they know you're here. Good fight. Good. Well.
Last player
Yeah, that dude caught. He counted his knives. I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, you have to watch flank, and wow, look how deep these guys are. 1, 2, 3. There's a guy up here and a guy here. Like, wow. Holy moly. We don't care. It was like a save round. That ice was bad, okay. That didn't hit you. Really? Whoa, that was quick. I personally think you should kill that. Like, if your system was like, okay, if the Waylay jumps in, it's kind of hard because, like, Waylay is not very popular. But, like, if you see it, like, the Waylay jumps in, there's no, like, formula. Like, I see where they jump, and I'll just shoot them. And then we like, do our misplay or whatever. Or, like, our runaway player. However you want to frame it. Like, the response to that is, like, I'm going to let you dash, and I'm going to fight you. And if it's not an easy fight, I dash out. And if it is, I'll shoot you and then try to dash out. But that punish was quick. That ISO did not care about you. And it's kind of one of the problems of, like, you guys having a weak A. They just kind of don't respect you. which leads to situations like this where it's like they're just gonna run you down.
No.
Like they're honestly A.
Yeah, the brim sits here for his lineup.
Yeah.
How are you gonna
That's so funny though. All right, now full swing this guy with confidence.
come back?
Spike plant.
Ah, he got 2. That's so tough. Let me check this peak real quick. Nah, it's that same thing. Here, okay. This is how you learn how to adjust to this kind of thing. If you're going to swing, if you unswing, that is one of the worst things you can do. Unless, like, the cover is super, like... I mean, it is like a jet dash, but, like... You make it hard for these guys to swing after you. Like, if you swing and try to, like, come back... If you have people with you that can't swing on the same line as you, you just do a wide swing. Especially since you got information, like you heard a footstep. So you know, like, roughly where this guy is. And I don't think he kills the second person if you wide. Like, if you wide swing, take your time, that dude just dies. Maybe he kills you and you go 1 for 1, but going 1 for 1 is, like, fine. Said he goes 1 for 2.
Spike planted.
And now this round is essentially unwinnable. Except you win it, because thank you, Void.
Tree. Hey.
Back like I never left.
I mean, surely you don't lose it a third time. I mean, look, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Like, you know this brim isn't a part of the hit. Like, and you caught him, like, when you flanked, you caught him in 3 different spots. Now you know it's the third, but you caught him in 2 different spots. You know he's dynamic and he's expecting it. Just help the boys. Like, get on site. This is like a consequence of you guys being very weak on A. They're not going to respect any part of what you do. They're just going to run you down and life is chilling. Get out of here. Wow, they found a whole new one. See you later, alligator. And it will not be a while, crocodile. But because you have like the preconceived notion, you honestly, the way you kind of think is not like, you want to think kind of generally when it comes to people, like people's like macro positioning when they're attacking. You don't want to say like this guy always sits here when their team goes A, because that is potentially not true. What's a little bit more true is that they have a guy who holds the B walk. And so instead of like hard tunneling this guy, like he could be here, he could be here, he could be here, or even like over here watching the B walk. And so in that situation, when you frame it this way, it's like this brim is always holding flank. That is the statement you want to give. You don't want to give like he sits here or he sits here. And like the second you find a different setup, it's like, okay, wait, we gotta chill and reevaluate. All we know is that this brim holds flank. We have no idea. Well, now, obviously, in review, we know, like, this guy is very dynamic. He'll hold from here. He'll hold from here. He'll hold from here. And he probably has lineups from every spot. Like, it's just a nerd brim player. It's just what it is. But we have to assess that that's true. And when that's true, and we know it's a brim player with a stim, and they're just holding flank, fuck this guy. He thinks the site is already taken. So, like, we just say, okay, bet. We'll go flash flood. We'll flash flood. I honestly think like if you were like really hardcore reading this guy, you say let's flash flood. Like everyone play off of A. If they make a lot of noise towards A, run immediately. The second they start planting, we run through. And you'll probably win rounds because this guy's taking himself out of the round immediately. It's a 5v4, and you're very happy about that. It's technically a 5v3 because there's also a planter. Like the planter has to stop planting. It feels awkward, and so you're at advantage. But unfortunately, someone dies on A every time. You die on the flank, and it's just like...
Spike planted.
They get owned. Because that's a good read from them. All right. So the only thing I'm actually kind of happy about, comparatively to your notes, King, is I wanted you to take space, and you did take space. That is 100% truth. That is gospel. Now we're going to have to... identify what kind of space matters. Actually, no, we don't. Let me rephrase that in a way that makes sense to my brain, because that's not the problem. That's not the issue. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so I want you to start contesting useful space. In the in context way of looking at this is looking at where the enemy likes to hit. You could tell me where the enemy is going to go. I guarantee you could tell me where they're going. Right? What have they showed? They showed like 9 A rounds, like I think 3 like mid plays. I don't think they started B ever. I think this is a big goose egg. For their attack round. I mean, we could always go and like fact check the validity of that. And also when I say mid, that could be a split. That could just be like take mid stuff. That could look like a default. But that's like where the round started. But the majority of times they were going A. And so in this scenario, I either want you like hardcore contesting A main with like a bunch of utility, like you ask for the one way, you get wide, you shoot this guy, or you play main and try to fight. Or if they're really good at taking this space, well, we've learned that they're going to show us that they take this, so I don't need to contest this. And so you can play these lines where you're like up gen watching here, or you're back here watching here, or you're up rafters watching this. Because you don't need to. You don't need to do all that. You can just kind of like, oh, you're coming to me anyway. Might as well meet them there. And you'll find a lot more success on the defense, because all these times where you're starting B, you're starting A, or like you're starting mid. Like the times you're starting A, you have direct impact, and some by the time like you kind of recognize like, oh, I need to just be on the A side of the map always. They've already ran A down because they know it's free. That's enough about the offense. We'll talk about defense. Or that's enough about defense and talk about offense. I don't know why I flipped those.
Oh, this guy's tilted out of his mind. You can tell this guy's tilted when he's buying Sheriff on Sova and he's swinging top mid.
And you're not tilted? And you're not? What? Because you just spent 20 seconds of the pre-round like pseudo sucking off the Sova for being tilted. Like what? You're telling me you're not tilted? No shot.
You're not better than me.
I mean, now we adapt, right? This is like one of your older offensive notes. We adapt. This guy's playing like mid with a Sheriff. Your Reyna's not out. Like you guys called like a B rush or something probably, because you're like, these agents are in front of B main, which is like, oh, we're rushing, or like, because there's no way this is a B main default. You guys are lying to me if you're calling a B main default and you're leaving like these two here. Like, I know this is in slow play. I know you're trying to go fast. And so like the adaptation is like, you're not going to have an initiator. So this hit is like borderline impossible. And so you need to pivot. Like, honestly, leave your KJ here. Send the rest of your players mid and see what happens. Maybe do a split. Who knows?
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down B.
I mean, you would have just killed that guy for free. I mean, that's benefit of hindsight. Like, my play would have been really strong. But hey, you still killed that guy. This is still winning for you. Okay, dude, there's 3 here. Please just pivot A. For the love of God, just pivot A. Like, your Sova had like the space back there. Yeah, just leave. Get out. Go. Leave. You'll beat him there. Get up. Don't. Who cares? Just go. Leave. Why are you all here, bro? Okay, you're just hitting it anyway. All right, I'm down to hit against 3 people, I suppose.
Cut noise, cut noise.
Okay. Does he have dart? Surely he darted at the start of the round. Let me take a look at the Sova, because that's just so funny. Let me see. Do you dart at all? No, he didn't. Okay.
Our spike carrier
Okay.
is killed.
Spike
Okay.
down B.
you have dart.
Reloaded.
See, he doesn't use dart.
Wait, cut noise, cut noise.
Okay. Literally take yourself out of this game. Like, I know you're gonna be so fucking frustrated at this dude because it seems like he's throwing. I know you're tilted. I know for a fact that you're tilted in this particular game. But like, it's really funny if you can take yourself out of the experience and just think of the absurdity of what this guy's gonna do, because he has drone, or no, he doesn't have drone, but he has dart. He has everything he can use to go out and take space, right? And let's say he turned off comms, because that's a real and valid thing that he probably did. You call, let's just cut noise, see what happens, and Leroy Jenkins.
Enemy spotted mid. No peeking.
That is so funny though. Like, the end goal is like you guys going A and you win. Like, that's the end goal. Oh, well, hey. We take those. Oh. Kill this guy. Kill this guy. Or kill this guy. Kill somebody.
Spike planted.
Last player standing.
Enemy killed.
One enemy
If you're a Giga Sweat in this situation, you walk this way and play under, and you gamble that he's not above you.
remaining.
Well, he would be above you, but still. Like, literally, it's too late now because he's out.
Here. Drop in a smoke.
I mean, get
He
owned.
lives on 1 HP.
And get owned is what it is.
Drop in a smoke.
That guy wants it.
Enemy spotted mid.
That guy didn't die? Alright, the movement was a little crispy. Then you missed, like, all good.
Revealing area.
Yeah, we'll kill this guy. Easy.
Nice.
This guy should not peek you. Well,
Spike down mid.
I got the spike.
Why are you making so much noise, bro?
Last player standing.
he's baiting for you. You have gun.
I think.
I can rationalize that as like he's baiting for you. But of course I can also say this dude is tilted as like hard can be.
Why is this so like mixing noise?
Yeah, but you're like hard focusing on the Sova. This is probably gonna be a mental thing.
Do whatever, flow. Have fun with it.
Drop in a smoke.
Other gave up. He said, "Flo, I don't care. This game's over." Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Your setup is almost good.
Smoke heavily, like 0 smoke.
Enemy spotted mid.
Spike down B.
Enemy spotted.
Yeah, you're in so much distress.
What?
You're in so much distress. You're not used to this situation at all.
Revealing area.
Yeah, you're so uncomfortable. If you're a baller, you run through it.
30 seconds left.
I know you die, but it'd be funny. Like, surely this guy's in here.
Last player standing.
Anywhere.
Main. Brim was somewhere on site.
Probably lane. If I was to gamble, probably lane.
Smoke.
10 seconds left.
I think Brim's
I
on
got
site.
this.
Fuck. No time. Yeah.
Gold crap.
I mean, surely not. Yeah, you're not thinking about. Yeah, your frame of mind is muted to something else.
My territory, my rules. Your fault.
Got
my
him.
ult's ready.
What? You spammy.
That's immaculate. Where did that land?
What? You spammy through a smoke.
I mean, with a phantom, yeah.
Market. Market and B-man.
Wow, that's tough.
Right.
You really gave me this VOD?
On market. Definitely.
Did that smoke land properly? I don't think so. And even if it did, like, it's not. Oh, you don't dash at him? You don't dash at that drone? Oh, you don't dash at him? Like, he pops drone, you don't, like, dash? Oh, no, dude. No way. It might have went right. He could have gotten spammed, like, anyway. Like, he heard steps. Like, there's a justification for the deadlock to spam. Like, even if it was or wasn't smoked. If it wasn't smoked, you're just dead for free. But, like, if it was, like, you died to spam. Like, it's supernatural.
1 by 1.
Yeah, now you're in, like, this is, like, the worst position to play when you don't have A main control. Like you put yourself in this position so many times on attack, and it's just so uncomfortable. You feel me? Like, this sucks. Like, if you're going to go mid and you're not having any sort of A pressure, like, you don't want to be in this area. This area sucks if you have no A main pressure. Like, you want to be in here, and if you're up mid, maybe up cat. Cat's a lot more safer because then you can pressure tree, and it kind of forces this guy to chill for a bit. Or you just, like, pivot to B really quickly, and this A main flanker does nothing. But it's like it's so much pressure that, like, you can't avoid. And this way they kind of knew it, except Void just blasted this guy to the shadow realm. He's, like, over here. Look how much pressure you had to, like, wait on. And of course they gave you a fight. Like, imagine they don't give you the fight.
It's you and me.
Wait, Sova. I think it's only Brim May.
Oh, this guy has that. He has that stop motion. Traded though. This is kind of spooky. This is spooky from. I mean, this game probably ends, yeah. Yeah, it does. Wow, a 4-13. You didn't have a better VOD. It makes it really hard for me to digest because there isn't a lot of like think of the notes that I give you. It's like you don't respect the enemy's intentions. Like, you took space and you tried to speedrun the round and run through their setups, which was very specific to the Lotus issue. Because in, like, some circumstances, you would run B main, there would be a utility dump, and you would still try to, like, go through it because you're a freak. Like, I remember that very vividly. But in the short amount that we did get to see, which wasn't a whole lot, and very few, like, even rounds, I didn't get to see any, like, opportunity, you know? But enough about gameplay. Like, you're gonna have to be honest with me. How often do you get, like, a bad player on your team? In any case of that word. Like, you get a bad player, let's say, like, any opportunity. So let's say there's like an AFK guy, or like they're just having a, like they play really bad, like they look kind of lost. Like, how many times have you gotten this sort of player and the focus changed from I want to improve, and then you can kind of look at things objectively, versus I want to win. That happens to you a lot, yeah. I mean, this VOD, there's no gameplay that is going to fix like a weaker mindset. And I know we've had this mindset talk before. We've had it a lot. I've had it a lot with a lot of you, where think about how like I really want you to go into this framing. So let's say you actually like watch this game back. Let's say, let me just go back to attack. Let's watch from just like a pure raw perspective of just. So the goal of VOD review is just to observe, right? Point blank, we just want to see things. But this is under, when we VOD review, since we have control over what we see and we're a third party to the game because we're not playing it, we can see things under like a deeper lens. Which is super helpful. But really look at the lens you're looking at this game.
Sova, what are we doing? Sova.
So notice how like you say Sova. Your lens is focused on the Sova, right? So we've now stripped ourselves from this game. Like, we no longer get to play the game. We don't even win a single round after this. But we strip ourselves from all and this is just the start of attack. Like, you were doing this on defense too. But we have essentially taken ourselves out of the map and out of what if scenarios. So actually there's an even more detailed round. That was the round I got mad at you for. Cuz you bought an op. There's like a later round in the half.
Mid, we go flank them. Gen, both.
Okay, no, it isn't these rounds. It was earlier.
They demand a
Close.
Yeah, it's this round. Okay. So this is round 8. And they actually hit us with something new. Okay, they actually went B for the first time this game, which is so tough. It's so tough. And it's really analyzed just of the observing lens. Like, okay, from the lens, this is just observation. We have observed that whenever they do a hit, the deadlock will use the wall to block off CT. We've observed that from the deadlock's point of view multiple times, even towards A on this retake. We know that the deadlock, well, out of the two options, the deadlock will choose heaven. So now we know that. That's us observing. That isn't like, we're not evaluating. We're not like interpreting why they do it. We're just merely observing. Okay.
Last player standing.
You played Overwatch, which is just like you're holding for somebody to do something else. A very small term. They're just chilling. But now you're in this 2v... You're in this 1v2. And now we're observing. Because we killed their site player.
Stay down.
We know that one made a sound platform. So we've observed that this is to be true.
Where?
And then the Brim just threw. So we know both players' locations. All right. And so now we're going to... so we have observed their location and what they have. So let's observe what plays we have. All right. In this frame, we have dash popped. We have updraft. We have smokes. And we have knives. So in this context, we know a player is here and we know a player is here. So let's observe possibilities. And I'm not going to tell you which one you should do or which one's right, But let's see. We could pop, this is the one I gave earlier. We could pop knives, updraft dash, try to kill this guy. Because we heard the step. So we come out here, we look this way, and then we can kind of like play with the spike. Get Brim to use ult. And then we kind of free up, but maybe we don't win this round, but we free up another round against this guy. And we like get him to use some utility to secure a round, which is okay. And then we can try to either save or try to kill this guy. Or even try to go for the defuse. Like that's an option. The second option is because they're both playing off-site. You could theoretically just double cloud burst, run this way, and then get to the spike, and then try to play the 2v1 from there with pressure. Which I think is a weaker play, but it is a play. It's an option we have. And then let's observe what we did. We updraft, we hit our head, and then we dash.
What?
And our first thing, well, you got surprised because it's like, okay, wait, why is there a stun here? And then we observe from that scenario. So let's just build our repertoire. Because we could have just like dashed into a smoke right here too. That was another play because you pop dash. And we didn't have to updraft or anything. So let's build a repertoire here. So let's evaluate. Now we evaluate because we have all the information. Like the setup, we have the execution, and we have the result. Okay, since all those are true, let's see it. So this guy's here. They have a stun here. The Brim mollied here. So there was a timer to your play, or you had to commit to the save. And so you had to make a very fast decision. All right. And so let's say with this information, what will we consider best option? Well, we'll go in order of operations. So let's say we do the dash and then smoke play. We probably still get caught by the stun, and then as the smoke dissipates, we'll have to re-smoke, and they'll probably set up a 2v1, and we'll probably lose. All right. So that was bad. Let's do this one. So we double cloudburst smoke, run out to B. Well, we're probably still getting caught by that stun, because it looked like the stun was this one that covers this part. And if we smoke and run, we'll get stunned here, and we'll probably get sprayed down. And the Brim will come out, and it'll be like 2 people spraying us, and we'll probably die. So that play is actually weak. And now we've evaluated, like, okay, what's our real only play? We have 2. We can either save the op, or if we go for the play, we pop knives, we updraft, we kill this guy, and then we try to fight this 1v1. And then after that, it's just whatever. If the guy swings us and gives us the fight, we win, bet. And if he doesn't, and we have to play against his ult, like, okay. Like, that's just the situation at hand. That's how we have to approach it. But think about it.
He has a trip there?
He has a trip there. So you did the observation part. And then you'd like say something about the Brim Molly. But here's how you want to focus it. In game, we don't go through that lens. The most you can do in game to keep your mental okay is observe and do like a quick evaluation. And don't think too deep about it. I would honestly give you like 5 seconds. That's it. I would only give you like 5 seconds. This is what this would look like.
What?
Oh, he has a trip there. Yeah, every time you die for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Should be every time you die. But they're like, oh. Uh-oh. Oh, they put a trip there. It might have been stronger if I pulled out knives, updraft, dashed on him, right? Yeah, probably. And then you move on. And then you don't think about it for the rest of the game. You literally erase that from your mind. Like the easier you get it erasing like the feel, like you erase the feeling of the round and then you're chilling. Like don't forget what happened, like how they play, because that's really important information that you should keep mind of. But it's like in your heart of hearts, just be like, okay, well the round's over. I don't have to like. It doesn't affect me anymore. To some degree, I don't know if that's like actually good advice. The person I would actually require like a background check for would be like Raven, because I trust his like psychology analysis. But Something to that level of kindling.
He has a tripper molly.
But then like we'll just do one more and then we'll talk about attack, because attack is just the more egregious part. So we isolate, or we will just kind of like determine what kind of decisions we make, right? And so if you died here, look, okay, you died here. So they ran at me, they threw a lot of utility. You kind of have an option or two. So in these scenarios, you have the I'm just going to instantly dash and get off site, which I don't think is correct, but that's an option that we have. We have Cloudburst, can put something here to shoot this guy, force them to use utility or whatnot. Honestly, this probably looks like just get off site. Like, it's hard to look at the minimap when you're in gun mode. You're about ready to fight this guy. But no one's ready. Yeah, this A looks free. You just gonna have to take it on the chin and say like, okay, this sucks, but it is what it is. And so we have options, right? Our options, because we pop dash, or we can do some dash plays. We have Cloudburst, so we can Cloudburst ourselves and like get traded off these guys, but that's also kind of weak. I don't think I would Cloudburst him or Cloudburst like these guys. I don't see the merit in that, you know? But in these situations, like overthinking it is kind of like what gets into those like moments. Well, holy moly, my words stopped working for a second. Overthinking tells you that like there was something you could do here, when in reality there wasn't. You were getting rushed down. This guy goes around here. You try to take a fight instead of getting off, and then you die for it. There's no interactable that allows you to like win this, unless you killed it, like one tap this guy, turn around and one tap two more people and completely outplay them with like shooting. I don't think there was anything you could do there. And so that's like, if you try to overthink and overanalyze that, that's why you only get like 5 seconds. You're like, could I have done something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I couldn't. And then you move on. And then you analyze it down here. And then like in the VOD review, I'm also telling you, you can't do anything. Once you're like stuck in this position and you haven't already got out, you're just dead. Like there's not a whole lot you can do. Even if like you kill this guy and dash, you're getting traded by the next like 3 people, because they're all looking at you and they're all spraying you. Like that ISO was not shooting alone. There was like 2 other additional shots. Plus like the deadlock. And the brim is a good example too, but we talked enough as we could. But notice how you say that. Where's the text chat? Like, where's this little indicator that's like Jet is talking? Like, if they occupy your mind, but you don't communicate that effectively. Like, let's say in this example, like, hey, Sova, or like, what did you say? Because you probably said something. Let's see.
If you're not a good shot today,
You say fast V. And you like give like a you talk.
I can't use like lineups to win anymore. Come B, fast. Sova, what are we doing?
Address him. Hey Sova, can you come be main? We want to go fast. Like you say fast B. Maybe this guy has music in and he's like, this is how you figure out where it's like, I mean, absolutely, like in the game, you don't talk about like, you don't say bad shit to their face, because that's like counterproductive, right? Because you want to win. Like every gamer wants to win. I guarantee this guy isn't playing to lose. I refuse. Like most people don't think like that. Some people do. It's not impossible, but most people are like, okay, I want to win, but I have a really bad mental. And so you go like, hey, can you come? And if they don't react after you like address them in a relatively okay, like fine manner, like for example, it'd be like, hey Sova, can you come B? We're gonna need your dart for like the B pop. And if the Sova still doesn't come and ignores you, out of your control. You can't control this guy. That's that AI. That's that programming. This guy was programmed incorrectly. Is what it is. Not your problem. And so you shift your thought from this guy to like, okay, well, what can I do? Right? Like every time the thought process is on you, like, what can I do? Like, if this guy is not listening to me, how do I use this guy? Well, he's mid. He wants to fight mid. Okay, let's go mid, which is something you kind of did well in like the next set of rounds. But I guarantee you that didn't come from a place of like a good
I'll find them.
good spot, you know? Like you're like, this guy's just peeking mid. You're like super frustrated when you can. When I would recommend to try to be as lighthearted as possible. Like even if you are getting frustrated at a teammate, because it is frustrating. I'm not going to deny that. It's very silly when you want to cooperate with random people and they just don't want to cooperate back. That sucks. That is turbo loser stuff. That really grinds my gears. But when we remove ourselves from the equation, now it's like, what's our opportunity and what's our actions? And it's like, okay, from this spot, you spray, you spam, spam a bit. You say, let's kill this guy. Bet.
Nice.
And then you're kind of lost about what you want to do, you know? Because, like, you come this way, you're like, I don't actually mess with this. You come this way, this guy dies, you're like, I don't mess with this. Then you come back here. And we've identified a couple of decisions. It's like, okay, are we going to commit to this one or are we going to commit to this one? Like, immediately. Let's say you're, like, right here. This guy dies, you're right here, you just speed up. Chilling. That's the decision we made. That we're sticking to our guns. Let's say we come here. Bet. And I personally think you could just honestly walk this like wall, like over here and peek this way. Like I think that's a good play. You get hindered, which is like rough.
Spike down mid.
I got the spike.
But then like instead of like your first instinct's like I should bait this guy. Like instead of that being your first thought, your reactive thought is what is this guy doing? Like what are you doing? Why are you jumping about? Because imagine they peeked like right there and then as you're looking at this guy, kills him, kills you because you're not ready, or you have to hit a weird flick.
Boys, bro.
Fortunately, they don't. Like they wait for you to get reset, which is thank you, Wele. I appreciate that greatly. I'm glad it took you like 2 to 5 business days to get to my location.
Last player standing.
I think.
Why is this so making me?
And it's like it's not like what could I have done? It's what is the Sova? And so I've been rambling long enough. I've rambled long enough. You got new notes. One of them is a re one because it's not automatic yet. So your habit training still needs work. I might need you to go into like I probably need you to go into a custom with Void. Tell him to pick someone with like flashes for stuns and let yourself get caught by them and like smoke yourself off. Like I need you to have that be automatic. Because there are multiple times where that should be your reaction and it isn't. Which is rather a shame. Because there were so many times where you're caught by a flash or or not caught by a flash. There was some flashes this game, but you're caught like a piece of utility. And instead of smoking yourself off, you just kind of took it. And you're like, okay, I'm okay with this game state. And you shouldn't be. But there's that, and then we're gonna work. Yeah, this will be for both sides. There you are. Am I happy with that? Whenever you die, I want you to observe, literally see what is happening. Give yourself 5 seconds of reflection. That's it, no more, since we aren't reviewing a live game. We're doing this to reframe our mind towards ourselves and what we can do better without overanalyzing or overthinking, which could lead to detrimental performance in game. I think I am okay with that. What's up, Salad? Mental going down the drain? Yeah. It's a constant battle. It really is. Because in my personal and professional opinion, I think it is one of the hardest things to train. And it is also one of the hardest things to maintain. And it is possibly one of the most important aspects of the game. Like, your mentality in and out of the game, about the game, is super important. And if it doesn't have a strong basis, it could lead to you struggling a lot more than you would like. Oh yeah, you had the day off. You just sat down. You're like, all right, I'm gonna crack a cold one. Opened a book. Opens a book. Okay, well, hold on. Gonna add this to the watch list. But yeah, if you have any more questions on mentality or how like to help reframe, I'll try to do some studying on it. It's definitely not my strongest suit in terms of teaching. I'm still working on it. But I'd be willing to help you work through it in any sort of case. Just hit me up. Yeah, thank you so much for the VOD. I hope this gets better. 1,000,000,000%. Because I do think that this is a really important issue that we should kind of squash as early as possible. But again, thank you kindly. I'm going to finally get to the thing I sought to do at first. So I guess this is for the controller gang. If they're still around, I don't think any are. 400 pages? Hoo-wee! Hachi machi. I get about 5 a day. Got me on a factor of a lot. 80 times my efficiency.
Building an anchoring site if they didn't push out of main. What you should avoid smoking when you're attacking this site is you should not smoke this position.
I mean, okay, we kind of just said yeah, this is probably not a good smoke. At all. Okay. We've identified that that's true. Or at least he has a similar opinion. I guess that it's not factually true. This might be a really good smoke. But he and I have the same thing. Oh, I see. So you're just kind of I'm not going to be able to draw it. But I kind of got you. It is kind of easier to finish a book when you're halfway done versus just starting. That checks out. Okay, I see it.
Over here, because there's so many other positions that are just so much more important. Wasting a smoke on this position, which only gets actually any kind of value if you are pushing into this position over here, right? Or on site over here, is just not worth it. So don't do this smoke. There are other locations that are more important, like heaven, like link,
good work,
and like the entrance if you do the attacking smoke. One more thing that you need to definitely avoid is smoking like this. If you smoke the edge of the ledge on heaven here, you're gonna give your opponents a lot of space to drop down from heaven without jumping, just dropping down like this, and that will help them to be safe while
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I wouldn't do that either.
dropping down. So you need to put the smoke deeper, so it covers the ledge of the window, but doesn't cover any air outside of it. So it will look something like this.
Really? Really? I disagree. I feel like you can let a little bit of ledge. But maybe I'm trolling. I mean, if my game doesn't update, it is what it is. Hey. Is there an update? There's not an update. It just wasn't like loading itself for me. For no particular reason. I just want to do like a compare and contrast with like the guy. I want to form my own opinion. Because he gave like a take and I don't agree, but I don't know how I disagree.
I am the beginning. I am the end.
I mean, this is coming from a controller main, so it's like you gotta have the battle. I'm sure giving the full ledge is probably bad. Like you flash and you step out, and that seems pretty bad. But I feel like
How many must I kill before I am restored? More. Always more. My ultimate is ready.
and I feel like
Cover going out.
like surely that's fine, yeah? Like from their perspective, if they like come out of this just yeah, they just have to step out. That seems really bad. Maybe not. Would I do it flush? Is flush better? How would I even hit flush?
Shadows traveling.
Is this fine? I mean, surely this is not good either. Like, surely this feels awkward. I disagree with this take, where it's like you need to cover the, like the ledge.
Shadows traveling.
But that also seems kind of annoying to deal with. I mean, I suppose I'm fine with it. It probably isn't as like this is definitely bad for sure. Like if it bulges out and you can walk, that seems a little kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like if they can just fall down and fight, that seems pretty bad. But other than that, I feel like there's not really a requisite as long as there's not like a weird gap. Like if you throw this on, you deserve to lose. Like there's just so much to play in this. Like you tuck here, it's like that seems like playable. But I think his initial take of like this being bad is like okay, but like I don't think there's like a specific spot you need to hit.
Without jumping out. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing and liking the video. This really helps a lot. Now let's move to the mid area because I think this is gonna be vital for this map's attack success. Now those are the barriers for the attackers.
Actually, we'll do a little check. We'll do a little check. Hold on. I gotta. Before I see this and form a weird opinion. Okay, wait. Can you put it on this? Or is this skill gap? No, this will fall through. Okay. So this doesn't exist. All good. This is real. All good. Okay. Darn. Well, there's no way this smoke is not, like, king, yeah? That seems pretty good. Actually, this seems worse than I thought it would be. Wait. I mean, I guess you just kind of hold here, right? And then you can flick down here. Kind of takes this fight out of you, so you can just like come wide. I guess that's a good smoke if you're like right over here. You throw it, and then you peek like the left guy.
Cover going out.
I feel like it's kind of awkward to stand, so maybe you scale this way and then TP there. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm fairly confident that it's you throw this one.
Cover going out.
I'd be really surprised if they throw the stairs one.
From left and right, you're gonna be able to attack into mid area very fast. The problem is the defenders have a barrier directly on mid. This is the defender's barrier, and they start the game essentially looking at the angle that the attackers will be attacking. Not only that, from the A link, there's another defender coming to mid from this corridor over here. Now the problem for this defender though is that when he wants to go through this barrier and be fast, he needs to run. When he runs, people from here will gonna hear his positioning, so he needs to shift, so you don't have to worry about his position first. But the player starting behind this barrier on top mid is gonna
That seems pretty bad. Yeah.
So we have to smoke him off. So the round starts and we have two options. We will either smoke them off like here, which essentially will allow us to go on the left and the right side of mid and not be exposed on the player from top mid on the barrier, on the defensive barrier over here. Now there's one problem. If a player just runs,
You're gonna lurk?
up
Thank you
with a
kindly.
he can still be here in front of this smoke when you're picking out not fast enough. So we can have a different variation of the
Appreciate
smoke,
you stopping
which
by.
can remedy the situation. But in most cases, unless you play definitely against a Euro or a Chamber, you want to smoke like this. But if you play against players who are very aggressive, smoke like this. Now this smoke doesn't look intuitive because it leaks a little bit on mid, and now the player who is actually pushing that barrier can come out and fight the players on bottom mid.
No, that seems kind of awkward. And if you're talking like flash in it, like flash player, he's just gonna cross to here, like to the left wall.
But you will have the advantage of being the first player on mid, so he's gonna be peeking into you and not you peeking into him. So you can hold this smoke and be a little bit more ready for this player. But smoking this position overall, doesn't matter if this way or this deeper way, is pivotal to attack success because control of mid on this map is so important. If
True.
I'm playing Astra, what I can also do is do a smoke on mid, a fake one, that will
True.
kinda give me an advantage in a gunfight. So when the barrier drops and the star is active, we do a fake,
I mean, fair.
we swing out, and now we could have actually motivated the person to drop down from the stairs or like even push out into this corridor, and we will be...
I would condition that though. That seems like a conditional play. I'll give some background context. Like if you do this like round one, you're not gonna catch the guy. Or you might catch the guy, but it won't catch him ever again. Like if you throw like that one as like a real one sometimes as well, it'll be like, oh, is this real? Is this fake? And he sees it for like half a second. It's like, okay, it's real. Something to
having an
consider.
advantage because that person in the fake smoke
I feel like I'm not playing Astra on this map,
by the
though.
smoke fading, and now you can actually fight that person and get the first blood.
I mean, okay.
Typically, when you attack mid, I don't
I'm not surprised that he's not talking about this smoke. Like this smoke actually just seems so bad.
recommend smoking both at the same time, so you don't want to smoke here
yeah.
and
That makes
here
sense.
at the same time, unless you really want to build up pressure and control the mid in the first 40.
Like super slow play, I could see. Like I could see this in like pro play where you're super slow. Like you get people inserted into some of these spots, and the enemy team isn't really trying to reclear like that. But I feel like it's so important that you control mid because it's like all the rotate. It's like so tough.
Seconds. Remember, you will need at least one smoke for one of those sides that you're gonna hit. Typically, you try to then you try to attack into the be able to hold you before you see them. When it comes to
Yeah, he doesn't even talk about that. Yeah, I keep seeing that stair smoke and I'm like, that's not good. But like he doesn't think it's good. I can totally see people being like, yeah, this is good because it allows us to pivot quickly. Yeah, that surprised me too, Chair. I was like, wait, this guy signed to DRX as a content creator? Like, okay.
The A side is gonna be a little bit
So it's like,
controversial
okay.
because there's so much space before you go to this side that you need to clear. We might actually use both smokes even before we go to site. So first,
Oh, interesting. So what? He expects to smoke this and smoke this. Interesting. Okay.
here you don't need any smoke because you see the defenders first as they peek into you, so that's not a problem. But when you reach out on this area, now we have to be a little bit more creative. I can bet my left nut that most of the content creators that are gonna watch, they're gonna be talking about the A side, are gonna tell you that this is literally just sunset and you should just go into elbow and attack the side. Now, I have a different opinion. I think your choice should be in most of the cases.
Oh. Thank you for the 52 months, man. Appreciate you. My king. Or well, my monetary king. People say this is like sunset. I don't agree at all. But I do think you need like both of these to some extent, because like playing a post plant without elbow control seems awful. Like downright garbage.
Left and go attack the A side from this corridor because the position to default plant is gonna be here because this is an unbreakable box that you can be safe at planting. So you either plant here in this corner or you plant outside over here on this corner outside. The reason for that is
Yeah. It's just like it controls so much, man. Like it effectively allows you to play the game. Like he thinks that this is the effective plant spot and you should play post plant from like here. Which I mean, I'm down for. I don't think that's correct per se. Like I definitely think elbow is important for sure.
is because going through the elbow is incredibly difficult, and I'll explain in a moment. But essentially, if that's gonna be the plan, if you're gonna go to the left side, essentially you need to smoke here on A-Link to make sure that you can go through this box, and this is pretty easy because this box is spammable, so you can check this corner pretty easily. And then on the right side, you do a smoke on the ground or the one way on the edge of the box that I'm also gonna explain a little bit later. But that's essentially it. Now when you do those two smokes, you go forward and you try to attack the plant here fast and get out of it, or just control the side.
Yeah, he just says like don't worry about playing sight. Okay, I mean
And
that's
just
fair.
Make sure that you can get into multiple crossfires with your teammates. It's a tough site to attack, and it's definitely not an easy task. If you want to go into the elbow area and attack the site from here, then of course you can use this smoke over here. It is a little bit risky, people can peek through it, but then you have
Yeah, I know that playing on A sucks. The amount of hours I put up, well, I haven't played it a lot, but for the time I did play on it, like the retake on A feels super easy when they're on site. Like when the players are on site, it feels free. When they're like off site in these spots, it feels awful.
to just essentially dry swing everything here with other pieces of utility from initiators and flashes, and then the smoke that you want to use is most likely, I'm not certain about this, the meta game, I would prefer to smoke here because now I'll actually limit the amount.
I see it. I think it kind of depends on positioning. Like if you're doing a crunch play here, like smoking this seems more effective than this because this is a real threat back here. I see it. I see the vision. I think that I personally do this smoke, but I mean, I'm down to experiment with that. He said it's like
Angles, I
not
need to
known.
check because there's so many over here. So you still go into a 50-50, but at least you're not exposed to the players rotating from spawn or standing here behind the box. That at least something. The other option, which would be viable as well, is like putting the smoke on site over here. So when you swing into this,
That's spooky though. That's so spooky to like separate, like give a sight smoke to a disadvantaged player and give them some level of protection seems a little awkward. I think that this is weird. Like this is such a good retake smoke because you start clearing this, you go fight elbow, and then you go fight sight after. It's like so strong.
you can only
Like that's such a good smoke for the defenders.
check your right hand instead of just being exposed with your back to the players from site as well. But then you have to be aware that someone can be in this smoke, and then you have to go out on site with so many angles. You can see what I'm saying, that attacking from this side of elbow is actually incredibly difficult. One more advice for taking A side from me when it comes to Omen or any other smoker, you can do a one-way on the edge of the box over here like this, which creates a one-way and baits the clove to look into this one-way. So when they are looking into this one-way, they will not see you first, but they will be baited into watching it. So when you are
That's an interesting idea. That cool. Probably not. I don't think anyone's getting baited into like sitting right here and holding this. But I see the vision. Like that's so cool.
In this position here, you can already see their leg, but they cannot see you. If your opponents don't have a composition that can be playing on the top of the box, you can essentially do this one way always, because not only it creates this one way, it makes certain that the players don't want to push out for this area because they are covered by the one way, but you can use this one way as well to go onto the elbow.
Okay, but that's like sick. I'm gonna start throwing that for sure. Like if they call like some A play, I'm soaking that 1,000,000,000%.
Clear this. Now again, there's so many different angles that you might get just killed from someone standing here, here, or here behind the box. So I don't exactly recommend going to this area, but instead of doing the smoke on the ground over here, if you know that there's no one on the box, then doing the one way on the box is actually pretty effective. Just remember that opponents can boost themselves up without using utility by just crouching and just boosting you on the top of the box over here, which probably will not be allowed in VCT, but in ranked no one will get punished for this.
Yeah.
Now let's swap to defense and let's start with A. A is very interesting because most of the battles are gonna be fought first in this small area. Now, you don't want to peek out over here because your attackers will see you first. This is the reverse of Ascent, even though it's very similar. Your opponents are holding this angle, so you peek out into them. There's also an orb on your left, which is a small objective for the round. So you want to make sure that the opponents will waste resources before going to this orb.
Like I assume you're gonna talk about just smoking this off and force them to use utility to come out of this. Like that checks out to me. Like even if you're not looking to hard aggress, like you're playing like back here or something, and you're just holding like that, and you're playing super safe, like you just smoke this. Like surely that's like the way, the wave.
So I advise using a smoke in this area like this over here, so the opponents don't know what's happening in this area where the orb is. Because of it,
that checks
now
out.
They will have to use resources, use smokes, use flashes, use drones to clear this area before they even go close to this site. So that's the first smoke.
It is kind of obnoxious that it's just slightly.
Actually, probably use just.
Hold on, I'm gonna check it in game because he might show it, but feels like it's just barely not big enough, or it's like barely a little too big for an actual smoke.
Shadows traveling.
So is there a gap? No gap. There's a slight gap on the left. So like, if you come all the way out here, and then. I mean, that might be a fight, though, because this ramps up. I didn't notice that. That might be a fight. Something to catch him a little off guard, and then you're probably just dead, because that's such a one and done. Unless you're like a Yoru or something.
Every round here on A side, because you cannot do the one way, since the designers decided that's a no-go. Now, you can do a Viper one way here, but it doesn't make any sense because your opponents are just going to peek out first. Anyway.
They're just going to get past
it. They break this smoke and they go into this area, now you have other possibilities. If my opponents went through the smoke that I did on A main over here, and they are using resources...
I think Omen needs... Yeah, Omen needs... So either all controllers need to get buffed, or Omen needs a nerf. Because... Okay, actually. Now that I think about it, I think Omen just needs a nerf. Like, after, like, thinking about it for, like, half a second longer. He's just so strong and so versatile. It's like, it's the controller that can do anything. It can play, like, defensively. It can play aggressively. It's super balanced. It has reposition tools, which is always going to be good because they're fast. Like, when the TPs were slow and, like, bulky, it's like, okay, well, now our outplay opportunities are not good. But there's, like, there's stuff to it. Like, I can make, like, preemptive plays, but I can't make reactive plays. Which I thought was good and balanced for the game. But to be fair, Omen was like dog water. And that was even with like he needed his TPs to be good. Like his TPs are the biggest source of his power. If the TPs are too bad, he won't ever see play. And if they're too good, he's just like this, where he hovers on like an 82% pick rate or something like that. Like, it's too strong. Like, the agent's too strong.
To get to the orb. Now I reposition my smoke a little bit deeper, but I don't give them any space. If they have any flashes, I'm repositioning my smoke like this. The reason for that is I want to have space here in this position. So when my opponent uses the flashes, they go into this space when they're still in this corridor, which essentially means it's easier for me to hold this smoke after the flash is being used because the players will not leak out already on this area over here, and they'll be still stuck in this corridor here. Now, my anticipation is that most of the smokes are gonna be used in this small area. But if you're holding a little bit...
Paranoia slower. I think paranoia is not the problem ability though. Like if it was, like the fact that they changed that from vector movement, or yeah, like well, they named something. They had something about it, so it's like it or like velocity based. I think that was a good change because that used to just fly, which was annoying as all can be. What was it? It was like you would throw this and then you would just like it just zoom. It's the strongest flash. I'm okay with it being the strongest flash. I really do think his TPs are like the kit that actually has to be toned. I'm okay with his like flash being the strongest for sure. Like his blind is like I think it needs to be good. Because that's his defensive like utility. Like it's also offensively, of course. Like he can set up plays and stuff like that, but like the bulk of I'm okay with him being a defensive minded controller. Or like going down that route. Like design wise.
Deeper, you will have kind
But it's just because like it's just so I mean maybe you get rid of both. Like if you nerf both the paranoia and the TPs, he's just dead. Like dead on arrival. So I mean, we just gonna have to pick one.
kind of like this logic of how to smoke in front of yourself. So if you're holding from this corridor,
Nerf the
you can always
status
consider smoking
after
here.
nerfing Reyna? I don't know. That would be kind of that'd be interesting. How you nerf that? Like give them a little bit more sight. Like what's the sight range like this? You give like this radius? I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting cooked by near side already.
Like this, or smoking over here, like this. So now the opponents have to clear this out. And if you're holding from this area, well, and they go into elbow, then you can smoke over here and just make them force to go into this 50-50 angle, which is incredibly nasty to clear, right? If you're holding from the A-link, well, then you still kind of smoke the same way if that you will be holding from pocket. So you smoke the entrance and you just try to hold this area from here. A side is not your typical smoke here and it's always correct. It's gonna be a smoke before they even go close to the side, and then you have to reposition and make sure that you understand what to do with your smokes during your retake. And during your retake, you will typically just smoke off your spike. When it comes to B-side defense, the most basic smoke is very simple. Just put it flushed like this when opponents have no flashes, so you just hold this 50-50 angle very efficiently, and opponents should be afraid of peeking out of this smoke. And if your opponents have flashes, then you do the smoke a little bit more deeper inside of the B main, so the opponents will be stuck in this corridor after using the flash. This is especially important against Phoenixes, because when they flash out of the smoke, they're not gonna be already on site, they're gonna be stuck in this area over here.
All right, just a little bit of clarification, because he kind of threw a bad example, but with good intention. So whenever you fight somebody, whenever you fight anybody with flashes, it's always
Cover going out.
as much space as humanly possible without fucking the flash. B-side looks impossible. TP attack. It's playable. You definitely can't entry. That's for sure. You're asking to die. Do you try to like do any sort of like entry play? I could see something like that though. Like you just TP in.
Here, when you can just pre-fire them, and it's much easier to kill those people. But now, also, depending on your composition, there's gonna be a very high chance that you will not even require this smoke from yourself, because you're gonna be fighting for this area where the orb is before. It's incredibly easy.
I'm super interested on his take on this particular spot of the map, because it's like I've seen this smoke to good success, where it's like we come out and like we hold here. Like that seems like doable. I've also seen this one. This one sucks because you give up the orb, but you like you have all this, which is pretty gnarly. And you can get up here like for free.
To control this space, because it's such a choke point. So if you have a breach or you're just an omen who can use a paranoia over here like this, right? Use the paranoia, you smoke it off, and now another player from here has just a free reign over this space, and you can just fully control it because you pushed away your opponents from this particular space. Remember, the barrier is here, over here. So you're able to control those players very, very easily with just one piece of utility, and then you just re-smoke this or anything. This a little bit more creative on the B side as a defender, and you're standing your ground on this side. You can also try out a smoke just legit in the middle of the site like this. Now,
okay, so this is always good for the this smokes like this, site smokes like this are always good for disadvantaged players. It just opens up so many more angles for them to clear. Like if they're hard rushing, it's like a 1v something, or like it's like two people and you're like, I'm not getting offside. I'm not playing retake. Fuck that shit. Like throwing the smoke is like so good because like there's so many angle opportunities that exist, especially on an execute. You can play in it, you can play out of it, you can dodge utility, and then you can get like some free kills.
this is super powerful when this is a Viper Orb because of the DK damage, but it's also gonna be effective when you're just holding with an Omen or a Brim or a Clove. And now you can just ballet yourself around this space over here without being fully exposed. This is kind of similar to the smokes that you use on Haven or on site or on Ascent on site that help you just build around a little bit of area of cover to isolate the gunfights. It requires practice and awareness, so just be aware. You need to be a little bit more agile on your feet. Playing Heaven on this map, you can also be a little bit more creative with the smokes with an unintuitive one way that you can do here on site on top of this roof, because now you can play around this smoke without being like fully exposed, but you can have a very nasty off angle at any attacker going on site. Not only that, you can always use it to reposition because you can hide in this smoke or drop down from behind the smoke and now be close to sight.
I mean, okay, true.
We're on Haven. Now this is possible when your opponent's smoker is already dead, because most likely you're gonna be smoked off over here. Smoke over here, because if your opponent smoked you off, now you can just jump onto the roof unspotted. They will hear you, but after that you can now reposition as well, and it will make your opponents very anxious about what is the defender doing actually on site. Now let's go to mid. Those are the attacker barriers, and our barrier on defense is gonna be in a very advantageous position over here on top mid. When the barrier is gone, we are able to hold this angle first, so you're not incentivized to smoke it off instantly. And this is gonna be a very peculiar situation where if your opponents are smoking you off, like for example over here, so you can see bottom mid, then it's actually gonna be important to counter them with your own smoke on bottom mid like this. So they have to sacrifice the utility to go through this area as well. But if your opponents are not smoking you off, which should not happen, but if they are not smoking you off, then you don't have to smoke
just chill, yeah.
as well. You can
take
just
this raw.
hold it yourself.
This raw
Also
fight seems good.
important, if you smoke the one way over here, just be aware that your opponents are so close to the barrier, they can just run through that. So it's not as effective as you think. And the players from the left side, they can completely just ignore this. So this
Okay.
might be a problem for you. Also, if you do this one way, your opponents can go on this barrel and make another angle that you don't expect, right?
Oh. Yeah, that seems pretty bad. The more like the positive trade is like, oh, you get a good fight here, but like the negative trade is like, well, these guys can just swing past this. These guys aren't unaffected, and you get opened up to this angle. Like, yeah, that's not good.
So
There's too many
don't do
negatives.
this one way. I really don't recommend it. It's not something that will give you a big advantage when you're holding from top.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. If you liked,
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. That checks out. We'll go to it real quick. So it's always just kind of, or not always, but it's like
Cover going out.
counter of one of these. And you're like that. I feel like it's easy for the Astra. You just pick where you want it to be. Astra defense looks all right, but Omen attack looks better. I mean, I guess it's just kind of pick or choose. Pick or choose your battles. Yeah. All right. All right. Use the restroom real quick. All right. Hey. And everyone's just kind of getting their games in. I'll probably be doing the same. All right. I'll give this guy like a little bit of time. Hold on.
It's a part what?
Because I don't think like aiming like Premier.
Before we even get into what I've done so far,
Because he does like so much. 24 hours straight, Jesus
it's
Christ.
important to understand how Premier aimed since it'll help you understand my plan better. We all know that Optic Ye was a crosshair placement based aimer, but I feel like just saying that is doing him a disservice. Let's watch this clip of Prime Ye playing ranked over 2 years ago. This clip has over 380,000 views on YouTube. Even in a 5 versus 2 situation, Ye had extremely precise crosshair placement. The thing I want to point out here is not just his amazing pre-aim, but just how smooth he traces these angles when he's clearing them. Yes, this isn't completely necessary or even optimal, but in my opinion, this is what makes Ye's style of mechanics so unique. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I think Ye does this, but I want to keep this video short, and I'll do a complete analysis on his mechanics in my next video. Now, to address the elephant in the room, I am aim training for over an hour a day on Kovacs. I do not believe that this is necessary to become Ye, but if you are interested, my 2-day split is in the description down below. Now let's get into the real stuff, like movement and crosshair placement. This might sound crazy, but I found that doing this drill that I'm doing in the range right now is incredibly helpful for crosshair placement. Now, I want you to think about why this is. Why would actually killing bots be anything similar to crosshair placement?
No, it's just kind of like how you do it. So it's like, I see it. So essentially what his crosshair's doing is he's tracing them and he's like assuming that this is a wall. So let's just assume he's like holding the edge of a wall and then he shoots when the enemy would appear on the screen. That's why it's good. It's like those situations.
And as you're watching the scene switch on the screen right now, you're probably kind of amazed. Like, wow, that actually is pretty similar. What I encourage all of you guys to do is just try this out for 5 to 10 minutes and then play a deathmatch, and your crosshair placement will just feel so much more locked in. Like, I don't know how to explain it, just try it out and you'll be like amazed. If it actually does end up helping you, then just like the video and leave a comment, because then it's a win-win. I help you and you help me. So you probably are thinking by now, like, I've done this much mechanics training in a day, it doesn't seem that crazy. Until you realize that on top of this, I'm gonna be playing 10 to even 15 deathmatches every
Oh god, how much time, dude? I don't have time for that, man.
TDMs because
Holy moly.
good and I wanted to try them out. For a lot of these deathmatches, I'm going to be practicing with the Guardian and Sheriff to master my first bullet accuracy, but guys, I also want to master Ye's gun control. He controls his recoil extremely well, and that will require me also using the Vandal in deathmatches. If we account for the time that I'm going to be spending watching Ye VODs in comp or warming up for comp, then it will total out to about 3 hours a day at the minimum. And I'm okay with that. This might be a bit of a vibe switch, but guys, I just graduated high school and I really want to put my all.
Say no more. Say no more. Yeah, that's a really tough time commitment if you're gonna do for it. I mean, kudos to you. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. Give you a quick little... You're not a guru, are you? You're one of the cool ones? Oh yeah, true. You're like this guy. We'll keep track of you. Alright. Alright. We'll play a game and then we'll do something. Sup, Angelic? Let me in. Oh, wow. Oh, baby. Okay. Whoa there, Aim Labs. Whoa there. On this fine day, I'm doing quite well. Finish my educational videos, my Vod reviews. Just gonna play a game of my own. I probably only have time for one. I also should make my smoothie after I do my, like, warm-up and deathmatch. Once this loads in, of course, surely. How about yourself? Hope this day finds you well. He's quite alright. You're getting back into it? Hey! Swifts are the gateway drug. As long as you're having a good time with your friends, hey. I vibe with that. Going Depp and Sova poisoned. I mean, pop off then, gang. You're like Sova and Brash, more like belongs in the trash. Get him out of here. Yeah, this is probably the more mind-numbing portion of the... I mean, I guess this is like the practice part, which is like the most boring part of everything. Honestly, I would kill to go to like a Super Mario Orchestra performance in Japan. I would pay a lot of money. Okay. Mmm. I do find the dynamic funny, just me being like such a personality when I'm coaching, and then like all of it just shifts when I play. Like just like, oh, like, all right, robot time now. Engage. Ramp protocol. Primitive directive engaged. Beginning synthesizer protocol. T minus 10 seconds. Secondary aim protocol not found. Error 404. Modular modular wrist program malfunctioned. All right. We got some speed to push there, but is what it is. That's what it needs to do for a warm-up.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
Oh, right. Whoop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you knew I was doing some dumb stuff. Yes, 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 yes.
Attack when they're suppressed. I cut their options, they make mistakes.
Fight.
This is not a drill.
Nice. Nice adjustment.
Critical shot. Threatening.
Nice. Maybe I'm rushing a tad bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm rushing a tad bit. Mayhaps. Also, now looking at it, this rotation through spawn is just awful. If they hit, like, fakes are gonna be so good on this map. Surely this guy isn't like chasing me, yeah. Nice. Nice! Succulent. Fucking hell.
Dominating.
Oh, he really did just say no. Not today. Yeah. Nah, you have to get closer if you're gonna do that re-swing. That's just like the easiest read in the world. Yeah, that fight just looks so easy. Yep. Bro, that timing is sick, dude. Off the jump, man. Oh, good. I'm good for the second shot. I need to practice being good for the first. Like, I just kind of shoot. But every time I give myself a second to, like, relax and give myself a second to shoot this guy. Bruh. Like, I'm good for it. I mean, that's all dwelling I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah.
Ten kills remaining.
This guy's having me for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Holy moly. What a sharpshooter. Yeah. That's it'll kind of also be insightful to know which fights are harder, which fights aren't. Ah. That guy does the same thing every round though. It's like he'll
5 kills remaining.
he'll like step and he'll do like a little jiggle to the other side to try to catch you off guard. Oh, the guy.
One kill remaining.
Yeah. That took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but oh shit. Alright, I'm gonna go make my smoothie, I'll come back and we'll play a rank game. This one. Alright. I'm finally back. I can get jiggy with this. Hold on a minute. Alright. Okay, I only have time for one game, unfortunately. It'll be a placement though, so that'll be pog. That'll be quite the treat. Get to learn where I am in the universe. I don't think I've played this corrode map yet. At least a comp game. Alright, we're gonna move on. A little rougher of a set for them, but it is what it is.
Match found.
Hey, what are the fucking odds? Let's go. I'm so down. Bet, bro. I can bet. Hey. Cha cha. Hey. No, gross. Man. Man. They're playing like actual Valorant, dude. You know. That's so tough. There's gonna be a slow game, unfortunately. Mayhaps. Hopefully it's just a fast game. Like we can just run it down. I doubt it. I mega doubt it. I supremely doubt that that's gonna be the case. Oh my god.
Do you hear their voices as
What do I want to do, man? I asked just once I run a split, but it is what it is. I mean, say no more. I was gonna call a mid split, but hey, he wants to hit B. I'm never against, really. I'm never against an honest to God B hit.
Now we wait.
Take flight.
Blinding crack. Blinding. Blocking crack.
Shadows traveling. Blinding. Cover going out.
Reloading.
Revealing area.
Close under. Yoru. Tech 26.
Spike
On site.
down B.
Heaven, top, heaven.
Have the spike. Spike planted. Blast place.
Do we see your?
He TP'd off.
One
Both,
enemy
both,
remaining.
Both. Nice. Let's go.
Worth the effort.
You know.
Ability, dedication, time. That's all we need.
Ain't an honest to God A hit. I'll never
Now we win.
I'll never say no to an honest to God A hit.
Keep up. No. Blinding crack. Blasting.
What the
Enemy
fuck?
spotted A.
Shadows traveling.
Right here.
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive.
Reloading.
Can you get my
One
Vandal,
enemy
Silva?
remaining.
Or there's a Guardian down.
Vent hair. Thorns are alive. Blast
Can you
force.
get the Guardian, Silva? It's on ping.
On my mark. On my mark.
Careful here.
Five dead.
On my mark. We got a pick. We move in. Got it?
I should transition to the elbow spot, you feel? I mean, I'm never against an honest to God B hit. I'm never
Fake
against.
A and go B.
Bet I'm in.
Just try to walk B. Don't make any noise there.
Enemy tag.
Blinding.
Right here.
Shadows traveling.
There's alarm bot to your right.
Shot down.
Cover going out.
Reloading.
I'm living.
Enemy spotted mid.
They're both mid, bro.
And them.
I have no gun.
Running through B link. Chamber no TP.
One enemy remaining.
Mid.
If you've never seen a massacre, this is what it looks
I think it's definitely chill. Like the second that Jet dies, I just chill because they know I'm here. Okay. I mean, the chamber has a gun, the rest of them don't.
TP is on pink if you wanna dash on him.
Oh, okay, okay. Hold on. It's a dash on this guy.
Deploying drone.
It's fade close.
Shadows.
Oh, there's an alarm bird close.
Blinding. He's up.
Scanning ahead.
It's 2, 3. There's 3 mid gone.
You disappoint me.
Perfect.
One more.
Reloading.
Cover going out.
Running away from con. Good, fine.
Clove was.
I'm going side.
One side clear.
One enemy remaining.
He was mid.
Shadows traveling.
Planning for you. Nice.
I got your backs.
Holy fuck, that Vice is just not fucking with anybody, but I'm down. I mean, so far they fight for mid.
Careful. Need a drop. Thanks.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Need a weapon.
I mean, that ain't me.
Now we wait.
That ain't fucking me, bro.
He won't focus.
Shadows traveling.
Right here.
Close, right. Pinging.
Scanning
Camera tag that is.
Oh my god.
Cover going out.
Cutting their vision. Still inside.
Stealing sight. Cover going out.
Chamber was close.
One enemy remaining.
Clove was mid.
City.
Spike planted.
Thing.
Oh, close like.
Not on ping. Not on spike. Off.
Nice, let's go.
Hungry.
Damn.
Yes.
I demand what I'm owed. Attackers win.
All right, well. Okay, no. Okay. Really? I don't know about the full surrender 5-0 corrode. I've never had. It's been a while since I've had a surrender. Yeah, diamond. Let's go. Hey. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, I'm definitely better than these guys. I'll climb if I keep playing. Oh, man. Well, I'm actually glad that it was a super quick game because I actually now have time to do everything I need to do. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you still are, good luck on the climb. I will catch you guys Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Appreciate you for stopping by. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.